The music of the grand hall resonated across the polished floors. It's a mixture of soft human instruments and alien harmonics, creating a melody no one on Earth had ever heard. Humans attending the interstellar gala looked on in awe at the diversity surrounding them. This was not just an event. It was a spectacle of civilizations, each species bringing their own culture, fashion, and elegance. Among them, one human stood nervously at the edge of the dance floor, clutching a glass of sparkling liquid that seemed entirely inadequate in the presence of such grandeur. Leo had never been comfortable in social gatherings, especially when the room was filled with beings whose faces he had only seen in documentaries and news feeds. He had spent his life tinkering with engines and spacecraft on the outskirts of human colonies. Diplomacy, etiquette, and interstellar etiquette were a world apart from him. And yet here he was, drawn not by curiosity, but by a quiet hope that he could, somehow, bridge the gap between humans and the universe they were only beginning to explore. His attention was caught by a figure, gliding across the floor with an elegance that seemed almost impossible. She was tall, her form draped in a flowing gown that shimmered like liquid midnight, reflecting both the lights and the stars outside the massive transparent windows. Her eyes were dark but shone with an inner light, and her presence commanded attention even without a word. Leo's heart raced not from fear, but from a fascination he could not explain. She was unlike any being he had encountered, refined, mesmerizing, and somehow dangerous. The crowd parted slightly as she moved, acknowledging those who bowed or stepped aside. She was clearly royalty, or at least a high-ranking figure in her society. Rumors whispered through human circles suggested she was from a vampiric species, noble, ancient, and powerful. No one dared approach her casually, yet Leo felt an irresistible pull. He adjusted his collar nervously and took a step forward. "Excuse me," he said, his voice a little too loud for his own comfort. "Would you like to dance?" The words hung in the air, absurdly human, amidst an audience of interstellar dignitaries. The alien woman paused, her gaze sweeping over him like a quiet storm. For a moment, Leo feared she would dismiss him with a polite but chilling glance. Instead, she smiled a smile that was both alluring and dangerous and extended a delicate hand. "Very well," she said, her voice a soft melody that seemed to linger longer than sound should allow. "But know this, when you dance with me, you enter a different world." Leo's nerves melted into adrenaline as he took her hand, feeling a subtle but undeniable strength beneath her fingers. The music shifted, a blend of human strings and alien resonance, and the dance began. From the first step, he realized that this was no ordinary dance. Her movements were fluid, almost supernatural, as if she anticipated every motion before it happened. She guided him effortlessly across the floor, yet allowed him to lead at times, testing him, teasing him, challenging him. Every glance from her deep eyes made his pulse quicken, and he realized he was not merely dancing. He was being drawn into her world. "You move well," she said, a hint of amusement in her tone. "For a human," Leo laughed softly, brushing a lock of hair from his face. "I've danced with my sister once, and a lot of maintenance drones, but never with a vampire queen." Her smile deepened, sharp and elegant. Titles are meaningless in a moment like this. Here, it is only the dance and the intent behind it. The crowd seemed to fade around him. Lights, sounds, and colors blurred into a whirl of sensation. The alien woman's power was subtle, a pull of the mind as much as the body. He felt no fear, only awe. In a strange sense of being both insignificant and extraordinary at once, minutes passed like hours. Leo realized he could follow her lead without hesitation, sensing her movements instinctively. Her laughter, quiet and rare, made his chest tighten. Every turn, every dip felt like an unspoken conversation, and yet he understood nothing except the raw connection between them. "You are not afraid," she said suddenly, her face close to his, almost too close. Most humans would tremble at this proximity. "I don't know why," he admitted honestly. "There's something about you. I trust you." A low hum, almost like a vibration of power, emanated from her. "Trust is a dangerous thing with my kind," she said. "Yet it seems you are unafraid of danger itself." The dance ended, and the music faded to a soft, lingering note. He expected applause, curiosity, or even suspicion, but instead, the crowd maintained a polite distance, giving them space as if instinctively aware that this was no ordinary human-alien interaction. She looked at him with those deep, unearthly eyes, studying him. "You intrigue me," she said finally, her voice soft but laden with intensity. "Few humans have the courage or foolishness to speak to me directly." "I guess I've always been a bit foolish," he admitted, smiling. "But sometimes that's what it takes to discover something extraordinary." She tilted her head, considering him. "Extraordinary, yes. And dangerous too, perhaps." Leo laughed lightly, the tension breaking. "I'll take the risk. Life is short, and I want to experience it fully." Her lips curved in a faint smile. "Bold words for someone so fragile." "I may be fragile," he said, "but I know when a moment is worth it." They walked to a balcony overlooking the city, a place where human and alien architectures melded seamlessly. Towering spires glimmering with neon lights and bioluminescent designs. The air was filled with a mixture of ozone, floral scents, and something faintly metallic, the signature of her kind. She stood close, their hands still brushing, and Leo realized he was not just captivated by her beauty, but by her essence. The power that seemed both terrifying and protective. "Do humans often dance with creatures like me?" she asked, her voice quieter now. "Not usually," he admitted. "Most humans are too scared or too arrogant to even approach." "I find your approach refreshing," she said. "Perhaps you are different from your species." He felt a surge of pride. "I believe humans can be more than they seem. We adapt, survive, and sometimes we surprise even ourselves." She studied him, her eyes glinting with curiosity and something deeper, ancient. "You may be right. Perhaps this is why I allowed you to dance. Why I allowed you close." Leo's heart skipped. "Why? Because of courage." "Partly," she said, "but also because of your intent. Many approach for novelty or ambition. Few approach with sincerity." He smiled, feeling an odd warmth despite the night air. "Then I'm honored. Truly." A faint wind stirred her hair, and for a moment Leo could glimpse the timeless strength behind her elegance. She was more than royalty. She was a force that had endured centuries, witnessed countless worlds, and yet here she was, sharing this fleeting moment with a single human. "You should know," she said, a shadow passing over her features, "that proximity to me is dangerous. My kind has appetites." Leo paused, the warning clear, but he only smiled, leaning slightly closer. "I'm aware of the risk, but some moments, some people are worth it, even if it's dangerous." Her laughter, soft and musical, filled the balcony. "You are indeed bold, or perhaps foolish. Perhaps both. Maybe both," he said, "but I wouldn't trade it for anything." She regarded him in silence, and Leo felt the weight of her gaze, as if she were measuring his soul. Finally, she spoke. "Very well. You have intrigued me, human. I will allow this connection, but know that it comes with consequences." "I understand," he said simply. Her hand left his, and she stepped back gracefully. "Then we shall see where this leads." The night continued, and the gala carried on with music and laughter. But for Leo, the world had narrowed to a single presence. Every movement, every glance, and every word from her resonated in a way that made everything else fade. He had danced with a queen, a vampire of interstellar legend, and survived the encounter not through cunning, but through sincerity, courage, and the audacity to bridge worlds with a simple invitation. As the evening drew to a close, she approached him once more. "I would see you again," she said softly. "There are lessons to be learned and moments to be shared." "I'll be there," he said, determination ringing in his voice. "For whatever comes next." She inclined her head, a gesture of approval and acknowledgement, before stepping into the night, leaving Leo on the balcony with a heart that raced, not with fear, but with possibility. He realized that humanity's reach extended far beyond technology and exploration. It extended into courage, connection, and the audacity to step into worlds far beyond their own. And for the first time in his life, he understood that sometimes the most extraordinary discoveries were not planets, engines, or starships, but the beings who could change the way humans saw themselves and the universe. As the lights of the city flickered below and the stars shimmered in the distant heavens, Leo knew one thing with clarity. He had danced with a queen, and nothing would ever be the same. In the grand scheme of the galaxy, humans were still young. But moments like this, moments of courage, trust, and audacity proved that even the smallest species could leave a mark on the most ancient, powerful beings. And sometimes, a single dance could change the course of more than one life.